Welcome to Sunday School for Sunday, June 25th, 2023, for our junior high students ages 12 to 14. I do not own the rights to this music. The title of today's story is Losing Everything. Alicia was heartbroken. She cried as she packed some boxes of clothes. Her mother came in to help her and sat down on the floor next to her. "Mom, I just don't understand why we have to move," Alicia said. Her mom sighed. "Baby, we are in a situation where we owe more money on our house than it is actually worth. We are drowning in debt. Our only option is to move to a place that we can afford," she said. "It just isn't fair. This is our home. I have a lot of memories here." Alicia's mom looked at her with tears in her eyes. "Yay, I remember when you took your first steps in the kitchen. I remember where you lost your first tooth in the backyard. It's hard, but the most important thing is that we have each other." Alicia started to cry again, and her mother moved next to her to hug her. "But as long as we have each other, we have the opportunity to make new memories," her mom said. "Keep praying, baby. We may end up with just what we need and want when all of this is done." "Do you really believe that, Mom?" "Yes, baby. I've seen it too many times. God has given me just what I needed and wanted even after it seemed like there was nothing to hope for. We are going to stay with Grandma for a while. She lives even closer to your school, and I found some houses that are within our price range with bigger bedrooms and a beautiful yard. Keep on praying and try to look forward to a brighter future." The memory verse for today's lesson: "For behold, I create new heavens and a new earth, and the former shall not be remembered, nor come into mind. But be ye glad and rejoice forever in that which I create. For behold, I create Jerusalem, a rejoicing, and her people, a joy." And that's Isaiah chapter 65, verses 17 and 18. The lesson scripture for today is Isaiah chapter 65, verses 17 through 21, and then verses 23 to 25. "For behold, I create new heavens and a new earth, and the former shall not be remembered, nor come into mind. But be ye glad and rejoice forever in that which I create. For behold, I create Jerusalem, a rejoicing, and her people, a joy. And I will rejoice in Jerusalem, and joy in my people. And the voice of weeping shall be no more heard in her, nor the voice of crying. There shall be no more thence an infant of days, nor an old man that hath not filled his days. For the child shall die 100 years old, but the sinner being 100 years old shall be accursed. And they shall build houses and inhabit them, and they shall plant vineyards and eat the fruit of them. They shall not labor in vain, nor bring forth for trouble, for they are the seed of the blessed of the Lord, and their offspring with them. And it shall come to pass that before they call, I will answer, and while they are yet speaking, I will hear. The wolf and the lamb shall feed together, and the lion shall eat straw like the bullock, and dust shall be the serpent's meat. They shall not hurt nor destroy in all my holy mountain, saith the Lord." The glorious new creation. When times are hard, it sometimes seems like it will never get better. God tells the Israelites of a future in heaven where they won't struggle any longer. They could look forward to a place where they would not lose the land they had considered home, and all of creation will live in harmony. They are reminded that the present is temporary. However, God allows for a peace in trusting that whether in heaven or earth, the concerns and needs of the people of God are close to his heart. How to trust God's promises. We can trust God's promises because God is faithful to his people. Number 1, trust in the Lord with all your heart. T stands for trust in the Lord with all your heart. R stands for read the Bible to learn about God's promises. U in trust stands for understand that God is faithful to his people. The S in trust stands for speak to God and he will hear. The last T in trust stands for turn away from false gods and idols. Nothing's going to be the same. In our story, Alicia is upset because her whole life seems like it is being turned upside down. All of the things that made her feel safe and secure seem to be slipping away. She feels that she is losing hope. In our Bible story, the people of Jerusalem have been exiled and feel as though they are without a home. They are desperate and leaning on God for understanding and peace. Alicia's mother reminds her, just as God reminds the people of Jerusalem, that their present situation is temporary and that God is the creator of all things and will make a new earth for them to look forward to with joy. In both situations, we are reminded that the things of this world are temporary, and we are charged as representatives of Christ to be the hope of new and better things to those who need it. God uses his people to bring new peace here on earth. We can be empowered by the anticipation of a new creation to bring peace, love, and hope to others here on earth. Being the new hope of God. Today's scripture gives believers hope in a future in which God meets all of their needs, and there is no need for worry. Some believers may feel this gives them an excuse to not be involved in helping others and fixing bad situations. Where can you and your classmates find evidence of God's hope? Brainstorm some ideas for projects you might work on to help others in and around your church. You could organize a back-to-school drive to help families get school supplies. You could hold a clothing drive to encourage members of the church to bring used clothes to the church to be donated to charity. Think about what would make a difference in the life of someone else and come back with ideas next week and share with your class. Bible study over the week. And you can get help from a grown-up or a guardian, a parent. Monday, the topic is the handiwork of God. Read Psalms chapter 19, verses 1 through 6. Tuesday, the topic is the guidance of God. Read Psalms chapter 19, verses 7 through 14. Wednesday, the topic is no one is righteous. Read Romans chapter 3, verses 9 through 20. Thursday, the topic is sin, death, sacrifice, and salvation. Read Romans chapter 5, verses 6 through 14. Friday, the topic is new things springing forth. Read Isaiah chapter 42, verses 1 through 9. Saturday, the topic is God makes all things new. Read Revelation chapter 21, verses 1 through 7. Sunday, the topic is new heavens and a new earth. Read Isaiah chapter 65, verses 17 through 21, and then verses 23 through 25. The end. God bless you, and thank you for joining me today.